the stranger said. 18 minutes later, Jimmy Campo and his partner emerged from the Stefano Hotel, guiding a collapsible stretcher upon which lay a slender, motionless form. The photographer was surprised at the absence of a retinue. No bodyguards or boyfriends or hangers-on. A lone Miami Beach police officer followed the stretcher down the alley. When the photographer began snapping pictures, the cop barely reacted, making no effort to shield the stricken woman from the flashbursts. That should have been a clue. Sliding closer, the paparazzo intercepted the stretcher as it rolled with an oscillating squeak toward the open end of the ambulance. True to his word, Jimmy Campo tugged down the sheet and stepped away, leaving an opening. "Cherry!" the photographer shouted at the slack face. "Cherry, baby, how about a big smile for your fans?" The young woman's incurious eyes were open. They were not sea green, mint green, pea green, or any hue of green. They were brown. "God damn it," the photographer growled, lowering his Nikon. The woman on the stretcher grinned behind the oxygen mask and blew him a kiss. Grabbing at Jimmy Campo's arm, the photographer cried, "Give me back my money!" "Mister, I don't know what you're talking about," said the paramedic, elbowing the sweaty creep back into the shadows. Inside a chauffeured black Suburban racing across the MacArthur Causeway toward Jackson Memorial Hospital, a performer known as Cherry Pye was retching loudly into a silver-plated ice bucket. Her real name was Cheryl Bunterman, one of many ferociously guarded secrets about her life. Since the age of 14, when she'd first appeared in a dubious buckskin cowgirl outfit on the Nickelodeon network, Cheryl Bunterman had been introduced to one and all as Cherry Pye. The person who'd invented that shamelessly porny name was sitting next to Cherry Pye in the third leather bench seat of the big Suburban, stroking her daughter's crusty blonde hair.
"Feel better now?"
Janet Bunterman inquired soothingly.
"No, Mama, I feel like shit."
Cherry whimpered, hurled, then drifted off again. Half sitting and half sprawled, she wore a white terry cloth robe, courtesy of the Stefano Hotel, and nothing underneath it. Even in semi-consciousness, her small red-knuckled hands remained fastened on the rim of the ice bucket. Janet Bunterman had long ago chosen to overlook her offspring's promiscuous fondness for drugs and alcohol, and on this particular occasion decreed that a late snack of spoiled shellfish was to blame for Cherry's current debilitation. Also riding in the vehicle were a locally recruited physician, 2 stone-faced publicists, a hairstylist, and a chunky bodyguard named Lev, who claimed to have served with the Mossad.
"Who ordered those vile scallops from room service anyway?"
Janet Bunterman demanded. "Cherry did," said Lev.
"Nonsense,"
snapped the superstar's mother. "And also the 2 bottles of Grey Goose."
"Lev, how many times have I warned you about calling 911? Like she's some sort of civilian?"
The bodyguard said, "I thought she was dying."
"Oh, please. We've been through so many of these gastritis scares."
The doctor looked neutrally at his new patient, but the publicists, who were identical twins, exchanged dour glances. The hairstylist yawned like a cheetah. "This time was worse," the bodyguard said. Janet Bunterman said,
"That's enough. Don't upset her more."
"Ask the doc. It was bad."
"I said that's enough. Lots of girls have tummy problems. Right, Dr. Blake?"
"Let's see what the tests show at the hospital." The doctor was being diplomatic, for he knew very well what would turn up in the blood and urine of Cherry Pye. Upon arriving at room 309 of the Stefano, he'd found the starlet nude, speckled in sunflower husks and twitching like a poisoned cockroach on the carpet. The bodyguard had pulled the doctor aside and provided a list of all known substances that the girl had consumed during the night and the approximate amounts. It was the doctor's earnest desire to be free of this crew before those 300 milligrams of Dulcolax